Hey guys, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty fantastic, thank you for asking. My name is Kate. This is my cat Thor, and today is his 9th birthday. If you've been around for a while, you know what kind of cat he is. He's a very strange little old man, but he's my strange little old man. You see, I adopted Thor. I feel like I should do this for his 10th birthday, but we're gonna do it now. I adopted Thor when he was just a wee little kitten-ish. He wasn't like super tiny, but he was a big personality. And over the years, Thor and I have bonded. We've spent a lot of time together, a lot. We've traveled cross country. We've moved together a lot. He's been there for me in my darkest times. So recently I took Thor to the vet just for a checkup, get him his vaccinations, and they informed me that he is very healthy. However, he's a little chunky. They asked me what his diet was. I told them, you know, I buy expensive, nice dry food. I give him 1 can of wet food a day. What did they call him? An elderly cat? A senior citizen? It was some phrase for old cats. Apparently, my little man is a little old man. They told me he was a little overweight and that I should probably feed him 2 cans of wet cat food, which is fine by me, you know. I don't mind giving him wet food. He loves it. He actually prefers it. And throughout the years of me feeding him and learning what foods he likes, what foods he doesn't, I learned that sometimes dry food, if he eats it too fast, he'll throw it all up because it expands in his stomach. Sometimes the dry food doesn't help with your digestive system. Sometimes it makes him itchy. It was just a plethora of learning and discovering, but I think I found like the proper dry food. However, the vet requested more wet food, which made me think, okay, what kind of wet food does he like? I wasn't entirely sure what kind of food he would like. I did have a feeling he would like fish, because whenever there's people food, he just never was interested unless it was fish. Keep in mind, I don't feed Thor people food. He's only tried to have chicken a few times. It was just boiled chicken, no seasonings, and he would lick it and then decide, actually, I don't like it all that much. So as I was trying to find these cans of wet cat food for him, I decided to go on a journey and buy like 100 different kinds of canned wet food. Different brands, different types, different food. I wanted to do a quest and see what he liked and what he didn't like. And I thought, why not film it? So I did, and I'm uploading it on his birthday because he's my very special man. I began to feed Thor his wet food, you know, sometimes once, sometimes twice a day, depending. He would usually tell me when he was hungry. He would go to the cabinet or he'd come to me, meow, 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 and I go, do you want wet food? And he goes, meow, and I'm like, okay. And so then I go get him the wet food, everything's Gucci. He's a very smart cat, but also kind of a dumb cat, but I love him. We are the same. We're smart, but we're dumb. We have one brain cell active all the time, just the one. Maybe we share it. Maybe that's the problem. Is this your favorite? Oh my goodness, it is. Okay, you can smell it. I learned very quickly what Thor does and does not like. For instance, Thor does not like beef. Cats need beef and chicken and stuff like that. That has the most nutrition, supposedly. I researched it. And he doesn't like beef. He refuses to eat beef. He'll lick the gravy a little bit. Does not like beef. It was never good when he ate beef. So I didn't buy a whole lot of beef, but I did try like turkey. I tried chicken, and those were a little better. I noticed that when the meat was like in chunks, or when the meat was a little bit bigger and there were less juices or gravy, he loves gravy. Gravy, broth, any of that, sold. Do you want food? Sold. But for like pate, he did not like pate. I would crush it up and he would just lick it, and then he just didn't want it, didn't really like pate. And I was like, that's fair, most cats don't like pate, I don't think. But pate with gravy was a little bit more doable, but he just still didn't really prefer it. But there were some things where I was like, oh, he's really gonna like this because it has gravy and big chunks of like tuna or chicken. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. There were a few where he would like it. Like there was one with like the stripped chicken and like it looked like human food, and I was like, Maybe he'll like it. He drank all the broth, left the chicken for like 2 minutes, and then came back, ate the chicken. He also didn't like the chicken liver and heart, which is like fair. The thing I noticed too with all of these meals is whenever he was going to like it or when he was dedicated to this meal, he would sit. He would sit down, he would get comfortable, he would get ready to have this delectable meal. When he wasn't sure about the meal, he would hover. So it wasn't like he was sitting, but it wasn't like he was standing. And when he just didn't like the meal, he would just stand. He would sniff it, lick a little bit, and then call it. I've known he's done this too, but I feel like all cats do it. It's like an instinct kind of thing. But Thor, when he likes the meal, or when he's unsure of the meal and he wants to come back to it, he will scoop. And he'll try to cover the meal with whatever's laying around. Whatever. The amount of toys I've had to like fish out of his food bowl, and it's just covered in like sticky gravy tuna is disgusting. The amount of hair ties I've had to thrown away because he goes and finds them and is like, I'm collecting these, mother. These are mine now. And I'm like, where did you get this? Overall, from what I've learned from this is I've learned some foods are like a hit or miss, but the one thing that he absolutely loves and will lick the bowl clean every time, will lick the bowl clean, is these little broth packets. They don't have a whole lot of food, but they've got pieces of food, they've got pieces of vegetables, which, by the way, don't add any nutritional value to him. He likes it, he'll eat all of it. He will lick the bowl clean and he will demand more. I'd pull out a can of tuna and then I'd pull out a broth packet and I'd be like, which one do you want? And he sees the little packet and goes ham. He wants broth and he only wants broth. But it doesn't add enough food, Thor. It's not enough food. Plus they're kind of expensive, which is understandable. It's high quality cat food, but it's also not a lot of food, Thor. You need sustenance. And then something else that I've noticed with him, which is like, this is kind of like a new instance, I guess, is because I've been feeding him more and more wet food and he enjoys it or he doesn't enjoy it, is he will let me and the whole neighborhood know if he likes it or not. So he'll go down to the bottom floor after a meal, you know, when you have a meal, you sit there, you're like, ah, that was really good. Thor goes down all the way to the bottom floor, sits there in the hallway and just screams. Just screams. You hear, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Apparently, cats do that when they say that they enjoy their food, or if they don't enjoy it. So honestly, I don't really know, but I've just kind of listened to the howls that he does, and I'm assuming, because there are cats outside, so I'm assuming he's like, I just ate the best meal, y'all suck, haha. I've wondered if it's like, oh, he doesn't like the meal, but I've connected the kind of meows he does when he has the broth, which we have confirmed he loves, when he has the broth versus some of the food he has when he goes and yowls. It's the same kind of yowl, so I take that as in he likes it. I wasn't expecting this whole thing to get this detailed. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, yes, he ate this food. Oh, yes, he did not eat this food. Okay, he doesn't like this, he likes this. Overall, it was a really long process. It took me about 2 months to get all of this together, but I think I figured it out. I know which foods to get him. I know which foods to definitely not get him. Won't get him beef. Will not eat, I mean, I won't either, so this is a no beef household. No beef in drama, no beef in food, no beef together. But anywho, I'm gonna go celebrate his little birthday. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for coming along this journey with me with the cat food. Let me know if you find these little cat food broth packets, and if you have a cat and you want to test it out. I'm real interested in seeing how other cats react to the broth food, because it seems high quality and it seems like good for cats, and it just overall, because cats, they need to drink a lot of water, you know, so that they gotta stay hydrated, and I feel like the broth can kind of help that. Also too, I forgot to mention this, I would add warm water to some of the food that was like, he needed the meat. If it was like pate or whatever, I'd add a little bit of water and like mix it up, because then it'd be more like chewable and gravy-ish, and he's an old man. He has teeth, but you know, I'm just saying, like, it just, anyway, thank you for coming on my cat journey with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Yeah, I know. Yeah? 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 Does it smell good? Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. Thor, do you want broth? Yeah, okay.